Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are taking a look at BYD's newest plug-in hybrid SUV, the Sealion 07 DMI. And yeah, this one's pretty interesting. First up, let's talk about size. This thing comes at 4.88 meters long and 1.92 meters wide and stands at 1.75 meters tall with a wheelbase of 2.82 meters. So yeah, a big-size SUV, no question. It's got a solid stand, and on the road it actually looks a bit larger than the numbers suggest. Now, under the hood, this is where things get fun. The Sealion 07 runs BYD's 5th gen DMI hybrid setup, so you've got a 1.5-liter turbo gas engine paired with an electric motor, pure electric range, about 150 kilometers. And if you're doing a full tank plus charge, you are looking at over 1,300 kilometers of total range. Oh, there are 3 trims. The base and mid-level ones come with a single motor that puts out 272 horsepower, 0 to 100 in 7.9 seconds, but the top trim, that one's got dual motors, cranking out 476 horsepower, yeah, doubling the power. It does 0 to 100 in just 4.7 seconds, which is crazy for a family SUV. When it comes to charging, it's got you covered. You've got 11 kilowatt AC onboard charging, and for road trips or fast top-out, it'll take 150 kilowatt DC fast charging, which means 10% to 80% in around 32 minutes. Not bad at all. And if you are camping or tailgating, it's got V2L2, so you can run external gear straight off the car. Up front, it's rocking BYD's Ocean Network design language. You get those signature C-shaped daytime running lights. To be honest, it looks more like 2 crab claws to me. A super clean face, and the grille is tucked way down in the bumper, almost hidden. It's sleek, modern, kind of aggressive, but not overdone. Honestly, it looks way more premium than you'd expect in this segment. In terms of driver assistance, you are looking at adaptive cruise, auto emergency braking, lane departure warning, and a 360-degree camera system that actually gives you a pretty solid view. But the real standout here is what BYD calls their God's Eye C intelligent driving system. Basically a full suite of sensors with the 12 cameras and 5mm wave radars working together to give you crazy good situational awareness. Also, the top spec version comes with a LiDAR, but since this is the base trim, there's no bulge on the roof, totally clean up there. Oh, check this out. Up outdoor handles again. Yeah, these are kind of controversial right now. The Ministry of Industry and Information Technology is actually doing a deep dive into whether these things are really safe or not. So we'll see how that plays out, but yeah, they're here. Around back, yeah, nothing too wild going on. Just your typical Ocean Never design language. Clean, simple, kind of what we come to expect from BYD lately. Now let's hop inside. So, the door panels are actually wrapped in a mix of materials. Up top you've got black leather, looks and feels premium. Then down here, surprisingly, there is Alcantara, like a lot of Alcantara. Around the armrest there is another leather, this time in a dark blue shade, which adds a nice contrast. And yeah, down at the bottom, it's just regular plastic, nothing fancy, but honestly that's totally fine. On the armrest, you've got your tri-lock window switches, mirror controls, and the central lock, all easy to find. What I love is that the side mirror adjustment way more straightforward than some of the newer EV startups where you've got to swipe through a bunch of screens just to tweak the mirrors, and that stuff drives me nuts. The driver's seat is powered, and check this out, it's got extendable flight support. Love that, because my L9 doesn't even have it. You know what they say, you don't always need it, but it's always better to have it. Let me close the windows first. It's a bit noisy in this showroom. Ooh. Well, the interior layout, nothing too wild here. It follows the same design theme we've seen across a bunch of BYD models, even their flagship Yangwang U7. An eye tracker mounted right on the A-pillar. And check this out. The door handle has ambient lighting built in. That's nice. The driver display, steering wheel and stalks, all super familiar. Classic BYD part here. The UI on the driver display looks like what you'll find in the Tang L, Han L, and even the Yangwang U7. The only odd thing, there's just one pedal behind the wheel. Kind of strange. Maybe the top spec version gets two? I'm not sure. By the way, if you've never watched a BYD review before, that pedal behind the wheel isn't for shifting gears, it's actually used to activate the driver assistant features. The buttons on the steering wheel are the same ones you'll find in a bunch of other BYD models. So if you've driven another model before, you'll have no problem driving this one. There's no learning curve at all. All right, this time let's take a look at the 360-degree view. The image is super sharp and bright, really impressive. You also get the wheel angle overlaid along with the bird's eye view, which is super helpful in tight spots. You can switch between the front and the rear views, and you can even zoom in on the bird's eye view to get a better look at what's around you. Now, in the settings, there's a neat little option that lets the system kick in automatically. So if your speed drops below 15 kilometers per hour and you've got a turn signal on, boom, it activates. Once you are over 30 kilometers per hour, it shuts off on its own. Over on the right, you've got your voice assistant, phone, and display option buttons. The last one cycles through stuff like navigation, speed limit, acceleration timer, and your media. The steering wheel is wrapped in leather and with soft padding. It feels really nice to the touch. Up top, the dashboard's wrapped in soft leather, and down below you've got Alcantara, and this is smooth dark blue leather. Pretty much anywhere your hand can touch, it's all leather. Right here you've got these light wood trims that kind of reach out like crab claws across the dash. And right here on the center console, BYD is still putting a whole row of physical buttons, EV, HEV options, parking assistant, windshield defogger. Then there's a volume knob on the right. Thank you for not hiding that in the screen. And a matching scroll dial on the left that cycles through driver modes. You've got sport, Snow, eco, and comfort. Pretty standard lineup, but hey, at least you don't have to dig through menus to find them. They put Alcantara on the wireless charging panel, which is great. And the two cup holders here, right next to the cup holder, is a rotary knob, which is the fridge controller. And the storage compartment is, oh, it's a fridge. Well, this is probably the smallest fridge I've ever seen. The opening may be 10 by 10 centimeters. It can, I don't know, barely fit four small bottles of water. There is a hidden storage compartment under the center console. The space is actually pretty decent. You can toss snacks, tissues, or secret stash of charging cables in there, no problem. You've got the USB-A and the USB-C port on one side, and on the other side, boom, a 12 voltage power outlet with a flip-up cover. But you can remove the cover totally. If you want to plug in a high power charger, this flap might get in the way. The air vent is manual. I've got zero complaint about that. And it's right in front of the wireless charger so you can blow cool air right at the panel to help cool your phone down. The glove box is pretty average, nothing fancy in there. The infotainment system is basically the same as what you get in other BYD models, so I'm not gonna dive deep here, but I'll switch it over to English so you can see all the menus. Feel free to pause if you want to check out the details. The tailgate is powered. You just lift this lever to open it up. But to close it, you've gotta lift and hold the lever until it fully shuts. Up top, you've got your typical sunglasses holder, an SOS button, and a call service button. And check this out. There's a switch for opening and closing the sunshade. And a separate one for opening and closing the sunroof itself. Alright, now let's hop into the second row. So quick heads up, these doors ain't powered and there is no soft close feature either. Also, only the front windows get fancy dual pane acoustic glass back here. Just a single layer, a bit of a bumper, but hey, not a deal breaker at this price point. Right below the rear air vent, you've got four buttons. Those are your seat heating and cooling controls for the back. Super convenient. On the door armrest, there's just a single button for the window. Nice and simple. And check this out. There's a fold down armrest right in the middle of the backrest. Now, in terms of the space, yeah, it's generous. I've got about 40 centimeters of leg room left here. Definitely room enough for a comfortable long road trip. And you can manually recline the backrest, which is great. In terms of a material, this base model gets synthetic leather, but if you go mid or top trim, you will get genuine leather all the way. Now let's check out the trunk. Pop the floor open and yeah, not much going on down here. Maybe just enough room for window sunshade or some emergency snacks, but that's about it. Right here, you've got another little cover. It's got some hooks and loops so it sticks nicely to the floor. Pretty neat. And there's another one on the left. Same design, same setup. I love the symmetry. And up here, here's a trunk cover that separates the second row from the cargo area. So you can stash all your stuff back here without worrying someone's gonna peek in and smash your windows. The trunk space is massive. about 90 centimeters deep. And if you fold down the second row, you can actually turn the whole thing into a bed for two. Pretty sweet for road trips. On the rear hatch, you've got the visible wiper. It's not hidden like on some other models. Up top, there's a camera, but since this car doesn't come with a digital rear view mirror, it's likely used for driver assistance features instead. The charging port over on the right with both an AC and a DC socket. And of course, the gas filler is on the left. It takes regular 92 octane unleaded, which is great for keeping running cars slow. It's got a square wheel setup, all four corners run 245 50 R20 tires. Alright, let's pop the hood and take a look underneath. Yeah, pretty much everything covered up. Just like you'd expect. You've got the windshield washer filler neck over here. And check out that shiny DMI logo front and center. And let's be honest, no one's expecting a front in a plug-in hybrid, right? Alright guys, that's a wrap on the BYD Sealion 07 DMI. If you like this video, drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and let me know in the comments what you think of this new plug-in hybrid SUV. See you guys in the next one. Bye!